and welcome to another edition of Wait Until You See This,
Dun, dun, dun.
the podcast where we take cinema and torture each other. We're spouses.
That's what we do to each other.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Krista.
Yay!
So exciting.
So how's it going? How's your week?
It's all right. Today was a busy day.
But you didn't go to work, so
I didn't
it was
go to
good.
work. And Little Miss had several appointments, so I chauffeured her around town. Did some networking, I guess, for my side hustle. And what else did I do today?
Push it to the limit.
Limit! That was really loud.
Yep.
But other than that, it was all right. How was your day?
I worked, and then I worked on editing Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, so, I wanted to vomit.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. I already cleaned up dog pee. I don't want to clean up vomit. Blah.
That movie is vomit. And then the last 10, 15 minutes are 3D!
Oh, even worse.
And it looks like shit,
Well,
believe me.
I didn't think it would look good.
But we're not here to talk about Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, thank God. Have you seen that, though?
Maybe.
He dies in the end.
I think... Well, doesn't he die in the end in most of them?
Die is subjective.
I don't remember.
Yaphet Kotto's in it. Breckenmeyer.
I don't know.
Roseanne.
Show me a trailer.
Johnny Depp.
I've seen a movie. I've seen a Friday the 13th with Johnny Depp in it.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't.
I'm in Nightmare on Elm Street with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
He does a cameo. I don't know what the trailer for this is like. It's probably, it's early 90s, so it's like, it's time for the one you've been waiting for.
In a world.
It's Freddy's Dead.
Again.
Till he takes on Jason. Or until they have a new nightmare. Not a big fan of that either, but it has John Saxon. But we're not here to talk about that movie. We're here to talk about something that comes straight out of my wheelhouse. It's 1981's The Burning.
This summer, if you're planning to go camping, don't. If you're looking forward to midnight swims, don't.
Let's sneak on back to the campsite. Get some matches. Build us a hot fire. Don't be long.
And if you're thinking about being with someone where no one can see you, don't. Because this summer, A Legend of Terror isn't just a campfire story anymore.
They say he smashed his way through the bunk room door, just a mass of flames. Burned alive, he cried out, "I will return! I will have my revenge!" He lives on whatever he can catch. Right now, he's out there, watching, waiting. Who's there?
What happened one summer 5 years ago is about to happen again, and again, and again. The Burning.
Alright, The Burning. Directed by Tony Maylam. Starring Brian Matthews. Lee Ayres. Brian Backer. Larry Joshua. I love it when they have two first names. Jason Alexander. Holly Hunter, who would be nominated for an Oscar 6 years later. Carrick Glenn. And Fisher Stevens, who I didn't even realize was in this movie till you're like, is that fucking Fisher Stevens? And
Yep.
I'm like, that looks like him.
Sounds like him. It is him.
I'm glad it didn't sound like him in, what?
Nothing. I was just looking at something.
What?
Your welcome to Camp Crystal Lake sign.
Oh.
And wondering why it has like an extension cord on it.
Holy shit. It does have an extension cord on it.
I was like, what? I don't get
What
that.
the fuck?
I don't know.
The funny thing is, I don't think anyone in the series has been killed with an extension cord.
Because I looked at the end, the plug.
It looks like a plug.
It looks like a plug, and I was like, wow, that really looks like a plug. And then I looked at the other end, and I go, well, that's an extension cord.
You know what it also looks like? It looks like they just stretched out the head. Maybe it symbolizes Mrs. Voorhees getting her head cut off. See, here's her body on the left.
Oh.
Whack. Woo!
Yeah.
Plop.
I can see that, too.
Okay, the burning.
Sorry, squirrel.
Which is kind of funny because, the whole premise of this film is pretty much a slasher in the woods flick. So the burning opens at camp.
Shocking.
And this group of kids decide, we're going to play a prank on the camp caretaker, whose name is Cropsy.
Oh, God, this is so bad.
Cropsy's really an urban legend in, New York, that whole area. There was a whole thing in Staten Island, but I guess in all the camps up there, he's an urban legend. And then there's that movie that's called Cropsy, that's about a guy taking kids in Staten Island.
Right.
But I think they use that all over the place.
Probably.
So they go in, and I don't understand why they're pulling the prank on this guy. He's a fucking caretaker.
I have questions about this prank, but please proceed.
And the prank is, we're going to sneak into honestly, it's his garage. It's his shed. It's his Cropsy shed.
It's where he's living.
It's a Cropsy shed.
Oh, God.
But he's asleep, so one of the guys goes in, and you don't really see it, but it's a head in a box.
Where did they get the skull?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Did they just where did they find a human skull? I'm sorry, if I find a human skull in the woods, I'm calling someone. Like the authorities. I'm not gonna smash maggots all over it and set it up in somebody's room to scare the shit out of them.
And set up a candle.
Yes.
I think this may be a point where Tom Savini was too good at his job, because it looks great, except in the context of 5 kids making it.
Right. Did they smash, dead animal on it?
I don't know.
Or meat to get the maggots on it?
They did a lot of work.
So many questions about this.
They set this up. They go outside. They start knocking on the window. Cropsy is like, what? Doesn't really say anything. He looks over, and then he sees this beautiful piece by Tom Savini, freaks out, knocks it over, sets his legs on fire, and then decides, hey, I'm going to put this out with gasoline.
I don't think he decides to put it out with gasoline. He knocks the gas can over, right?
Here's my question. Why is he sleeping in a room with a fucking open gas can?
It's a shed. I would assume that the gas can should be there and not him.
But there's a bed. He's sleeping on a bed.
I understand.
And it says caretaker.
Well, maybe he's a hoarder.
Man.
I mean, we've watched those hoarder shows. They find dead cats and shit. They find a flat cat,
No, he's not flat.
Nah, he crispy.
He's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru at the same time. He goes up like a fucking tinderbox. But he managed to put on a helmet before he became fully engulfed.
How did he do that?
I don't know. It's just a stunt.
A continuity error?
Oh, yeah.
Like this extension cord over here? Sorry.
So what's your problem with this just these kids making the skull, or?
The skull! The whole skull! Where did you find it? Where do you have it? Why did you smash meat over it? How long did you have it for the maggots to get on there? I mean...
Maybe they killed someone.
That's worse.
Let's do a prequel. We're really going to get that Cropsy, but first we have to murder someone, cut their head off, let it rot, stick a candle in it. Boom, we're ready.
Call it a day.
Yeah. So Cropsy's in the hospital. He's burnt to shit. And what do we get? We get gratuitous grizzled nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Who is pushing... Is this guy an intern? Is he a resident?
I don't know.
I mean, he looks like he's old enough to be the nurse's dad.
It's a second career for him.
The nurse is like, I'm going to show you something that'll make you quit your job. I don't know why, but...
Yeah. I just want to go back 1 second to the Cropsey on fire thing.
Yeah.
Was there 5 of them?
I think there was 5.
All 5 of those motherfuckers lit out of there like their asses were on fire. Nobody called anybody to help this poor man? They're like, fuck you. I set you on fire.
Who put him out?
I don't know. All right, please proceed. I have lots of questions.
All right, they go in there, and, hey, look at this guy. Whoop, jump scare, he grabbed him. Then we jump to 5 years later.
Oh, before we jump to 5 years later.
Holy shit.
So he's in there, right?
Yeah.
He's been in there. Why is his arm still crispy? I mean, they should have debriefed that shit.
No, he's in the hospital. I don't
when they're in the
fucking
hospital,
know.
They take that dead skin off.
I don't know.
All right, moving on.
Maybe he just got there.
All right, moving on.
Holy shit. Cropsey's been in the hospital for 5 years, and the doctors are like, hey, we can't do anything for you, and your insurance is canceled, so get the fuck out.
Now, wait a second. I'm just kidding. Please proceed.
Here's my question. What kind of payout did he get from the camp?
I don't know. Probably nothing.
They've got to be insured, or maybe they weren't insured.
What was it, 1981?
Well, the movie's set in 81, this was 76, so it was a bicentennial year.
Yeah, okay. No, nobody was paying shit. There ain't no insurance and nothing.
Babies are just rolling around in the back of your station wagon.
Oh my god.
So Cropsey gets out. He immediately picks up a hooker. She takes him upstairs. She's talking. I don't fucking know. Then she turns the light on, or lightning. Lightning hits.
She turns the light off and lightning.
Yeah, the lightning hits, and she's like, oh my god, get the fuck out here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And he stabs her with a pair of scissors.
Yes, he does.
Which is funny, because this movie is going to make it seem like we don't know who the killer is.
But we clearly do know
Yes.
who the killer is and what his motive is.
It's the exact opposite of Friday the 13th, where we don't meet the killer till the last 20 minutes. We meet the killer from day one.
Yeah.
We then go to Camp Stonewater, which, man, they should have called it Bongwater. But the first rule of this camp is there are no bras.
Oh yeah. Yep. Sure. They're playing baseball or something.
Yeah, softball.
Yeah. Definitely the 70s. Not a bra in sight. I mean, to each their own. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
get it.
Yeah, that's...
I get it.
We're then introduced to an ugly stuffed buffalo. And what's interesting about this is it's an operational camp. There are kids there, as opposed to usually it's the counselors getting it ready. It's a counselor training center. Then we get a nice shower scene.
Oh, the boobs. You gotta have the boobs.
You know what the most disgusting thing is?
The pervert?
No, she walks out and just leaves the fucking door open.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
So she's showering, and Alfred has been watching her.
Alfred the pervert.
He says, I was just going to scare her, which he did.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. He sure did.
And Alfred is played by Rat from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So Alfred has a talk with Captain Denim Todd. This guy is draped in denim. I think his last name is actually Levi.
No, it's not. It's not.
Who drops this little chestnut about being sent home from camp 5 years ago. So that gives away the whole...
Guess who set Cropsey on fire?
Who was in on it? Yeah, that's...
God.
How the fuck did he get a camp job? Being a counselor?
After setting a
guy on fire?
I don't fucking know.
Shouldn't he have been in... Maybe he went to juvie. Did they just... Well, no camp for you this summer. Bye. You set a motherfucker on fire.
And then you were put in charge of children. I mean, it's the 70s, so it kind of tracks.
Then there's Glazer, the camp bully, who is trying to get in Sally's pants, who was the watch-e to Alfred's watcher. So he's pissed off. He's wanting to kick Alfred's ass. Glazer is one of those guys that loves to wear a muscle shirt. It's guns out 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Alexander with a pretty much full head of hair.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful.
That's crazy. It's weird. We get some frolicking. Jason Alexander's character delivers some porn.
Of course.
There's some lurking.
There's always lurking in these films.
And they're preparing for an overnight canoe trip.
It's a 3-day canoe trip.
Yeah, well, for some people. Some people don't make it 3 days.
Spoilers.
So they head on out on this canoe trip. It goes full Deliverance with banjo music. And it's going to be a great time, according to them. Then we get the gratuitous campfire scene.
Oh my god.
Which is where you were watching the movie and you said, I think I may have seen this before.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had seen it before or if I had seen a camp slasher very similar. I've seen a lot of camp slashers. I wasn't sure if I had seen it before, and I'm still not clear on that one. So
a lot of these movies have the campfire tale scene, and
well, that's the first thing I saw that scene, and I wrote down, "Let me give it to you straight about Jason."
Yeah,
I was like, "This is Friday the 13th."
The entire scene where they're telling the story, including the jump scare at the end with the mask, is just like Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a fun fact. I heard this on another podcast.
Okay.
They pulled this out because right after we watched this one I listened to called With Gorley and Rust, they did The Burning. So I was listening to it. Tom Savini was offered either Friday the 13th Part 2 or The Burning. And he chose The Burning. He did a lot of movies in 1981. He did The Prowler. He did Maniac. I'm probably missing 10 others, and apparently, I guess we have dropped the lead. This is a Miramax movie, which means it was produced and written by Bob and Harvey Weinstein.
Bum, 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 bum.
So we're working on that trifecta, so look forward to a Bill Cosby and Woody Allen movie later on this season.
Blech.
They had offered Sean S. Cunningham to work on The Burning, probably as a producer. I don't know if they wanted him to direct. And he saw the script. And I guess when Savini found out about that, he said, you guys need to get into production right now because they are doing Friday the 13th Part 2. So remember when I said maybe The Burning was ripping off Friday the 13th, which supposedly was written before the original came out?
Right.
Savini kind of thinks they ripped off The Burning for some of the stuff in Friday the 13th Part 2. Particularly that fucking campfire scene, because it is just like...
It is exactly the same.
They are a lot alike. So yeah, that's that chestnut I was telling you about. I'm like, well, that really flipped.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Then we get skinny dipping.
Yes, you must have skinny dipping in a camp slasher.
And
you
then,
have the boobs. And I believe we got Bush on this one, didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah. But God forbid we show a guy's wang.
Trying to think of a Wang movie. Sorry, I don't have that list in my head. The Cropsey POVs was literally Vaseline rubbed around the lens. Nothing special. George Lucas did it on the original Star Wars before he tightened those up. And the killing starts because Eddie was skinny dipping with Karen, and she was like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with your penis. I'm going to leave.
Eddie was trying to assault Karen.
What'd you come out here for?
Yeah, well, it's her fault. I mean, she is the woman here. Jesus.
So she's dead. She's gone. And guess what else is gone? The canoes!
Bye-bye, canoes. And we can't find Karen.
No, she's dead.
Yeah, they can't find her. They go looking for her, and that's how they discover the canoes are missing.
Captain Denham decides, you know what? We need to build a raft.
Why didn't they just build 2 rafts? They could have all gone on 2 rafts. You saw how many people they got on the 1 raft. Why didn't they just build 2 rafts and just... Psh?
I don't know if I trust that raft. So they send out a group on the raft featuring Fisher Stevens. And lo and behold, a canoe. So they get closer and closer. They're going to grab the canoe. And we get the money shot. If you've ever seen the cover to this, it's of Cropsey holding some hedge trimmers. And then he starts fucking killing everybody. I mean, stabs Eddie in the neck, so he gets his for being a hornball. And Fisher Stevens gets his fucking fingers cut off.
Oh yeah, he just goes... he cuts those fuckers right off.
Meanwhile, Captain Denham is getting laid because he's popped his collar.
Well, yes, you must pop the collar.
Everyone's getting laid at this point because also Glazer and Sally are getting it on.
Except for Eddie.
Eddie's dead. But Glazer's a 2-pump chump.
Yep, sure is. Not surprising, though.
I guess he goes... What, the muscle shirt?
Glazer. He was a lot of boasting, and I have in my notes here that Glazer is a dick. He did a lot of boasting and a lot of, tall tales.
Yes. Man, where I come from, I used to wear sleeves. And I got all kinds of women. That's why I don't have sleeves anymore. They ripped them off.
Sure.
Trying to get a piece. So Glazer's like, look, I'm going to make this up to you. I'm going to build a fire. So I'll leave you here. Which means she's dead. She's dead when he gets back. And apparently, Alfred follows him back. And somehow, Cropsey, he must have Ant-Man technology. Because when Glazer walks up, it just looks like a single person in that sleeping bag. But then Cropsey comes out of the sleeping bag, too?
Well, maybe he was hiding on the earth. Like, maybe he dug a hole and was, coming up. And...
Oh, he's pulling a Rambo?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the whole fucking skull with maggots covered on it.
Jesus Christ.
So, how he's hiding in the sleeping bag. Well, maybe he cut her head off and just put her head up there to make it look
I thought the whole body was there.
I don't fucking know.
So Glazer's dead. Alfred runs back and tells Captain Denham. They return to the crime scene, and whoop, there's Cropsey, and Captain Denham is knocked out.
How did he not see Cropsey?
Apparently he has Predator tech.
Mm-hmm.
He can stealth himself, I guess.
And why aren't there any blood on those shears?
He cleans them.
Yeah, I'm sure that's on his top list of things to do is must clean shears after cut kids' fingers off. Yeah.
So Todd's knocked out, and Alfred is the big hero and runs the fuck away.
That's bait.
Meanwhile, the raft comes back.
The chick, what was her name? Karen?
Yeah.
Was that Karen? No. The one that was...
Karen's the dead one.
With Captain Denham. What was her name?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember her name.
Was it Sally?
No, Sally's the gal in the shower.
I don't know. This camp counselor has her bathing suit on for 3 days. In and out of water for 3 days in her bathing suit. Personally, I'm going, yick, you're asking for a yeast infection, sister. Disgusting. There's no fucking way she's wearing a bathing suit for 3 days.
Well, she discovers the corpses.
Sorry, I had to go on my tirade.
Everyone freaks out. And what do? They get on the raft. Captain Denham's going to stay behind and be a superhero and look for Alfred. So they take the raft back. Apparently Cropsey's too tied up with Alfred. They're able to get to the camp.
Alfred's tied up, right? Is this where Alfred's tied up?
Alfred's running around all over the place.
Alfred just needs some help.
Well, he needs to play side 2 of Led Zeppelin 4.
Alright, moving on.
So they get to the camp, and I guess the owner is there. He's like, what the hell happened? And she's got to tell him, yeah, you got a lot of dead kids. And he has a look on his face like, I'm not going to financially recover from this.
First he's like, sure, whatever, nice try. Did Todd put you up to this? And then she's like, no, for real.
Her name's Michelle, by the way.
Oh, Michelle.
And they head back in a boat. Alfred gets caught. He's not killed for some reason. I hate it when fucking slasher movies do it. They're killing people left and right. But then for the plot, oh, we're going to keep this one alive.
Yeah, he ties him up, pins him to a wall, and gags him.
The only thing I can think of is...
Were you waiting for him? I don't...
Maybe he's bait for Todd.
That's the only thing it could be. Then he should have kidnapped Michelle. I'm sorry. I'm looking for logic in this movie.
Michelle's probably a lot tougher than Alfred.
Yes, I'm sure she is.
That is an old copper mine, by the way, or some copper processing facility.
Interesting. We wondered what that was.
It was supposed to be a cave. The first cave they went to was infested with bats.
Gross.
The second cave they went to...
Chicken of the cave.
The chicken of the cave. Cave number 2 collapsed after they looked at it.
Oh.
So I guess they were like, no fucking caves.
Oh, come on.
We went with the copper processing whatever.
Without a ceiling on it. Or roof. Whatever you want to call that.
So Ted shows up, and Cropsy walks out with a fucking flamethrower.
Of course he does. Where does one get one of those?
Anywhere. It was just lying around.
I just go to the local Walmart and buy myself a flamethrower.
We finally get to see Cropsy's face. Looks great.
He's so pretty.
Alfred breaks free and stabs Cropsy, and the movie's over. Nope, fucking jump scare.
Of course.
So then he takes an axe to the face and gets burned alive
This sounds
again.
familiar. An axe to the face. What else have I seen that has an axe to the face?
I know what movie you're talking about, and you're about a year ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
They didn't set him on fire.
No. But they do at one point in time, don't they?
7. Look, by that point, they gotta come up with new shit. I'm not gonna say they were ripping that off. I don't have much in the way of fun facts. I sprinkled them throughout discussing the movie. Really, I only have 2. 1, this was on the UK's Video Nasties list, so it was banned. 2, apparently, Harvey Weinstein allegedly exposed himself
What?
to someone
Gross.
on set and asked for a massage.
Gross. That tracks for him. But that's gross.
Do you want to watch me take a shower?
No.
God.
Or pass.
Oh, I read that. I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Do not pass go.
So, that is The Burning.
All right. Great. I feel like I've seen all these camp slasher movies.
But how did you feel about The Burning?
I feel like I've seen it before. I mean, it was okay. I mean, for the time, it was alright.
They were all the same.
Yeah. I know this is like your jam. This is your genre, is your niche.
It's perfect.
With the camp slasher movies.
The perfect year. It's a slasher in the woods. I mean, it's right there in the sweet spot. And there were more this year, too, in 81.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Oh, there's another one I'm going to show you sometime.
I found it interesting that our POV was the killer. We already knew he was the killer. We already knew why he was killing, you know.
But they kept trying to kind of make it seem like it could be Alfred.
Right.
I have no idea about that.
It was confusing. I mean, I think they may have done a better job if they would have been consistent in their POV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they wouldn't have had to make it look like that could have been Alfred, because we all knew it wasn't Alfred. I mean, yeah, he was a creep, but damn, so was Glacier.
I need to check because I think, because you're talking about how all these are alike. Have you ever seen the movie Madman?
I don't know.
I think it came out 83, but if I remember right, it was supposed to be about Cropsy. And then they found out about this movie, and they're like, well, shit.
So they just changed their character?
Yeah, they tweaked it a little bit. It was Madman Mars. I think that's the movie. That seems, because it's a bunch of kids. It's funny because it's at a camp, but it's like Thanksgiving week.
This sounds familiar.
You may have seen this
Because I remember you talking about...
There's a hot tub scene that goes on way too long.
You're like, it's Thanksgiving. Why are you going to camp at Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
This one hits right in my wheelhouse, so...
Yeah, it was okay. I will give it a slightly higher score than I intended to, because it was in the early days of these camp slashers.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the things that were happening in a lot of the special effects and stuff like that were groundbreaking.
Oh yeah, Tom Savini was
I mean,
the man.
Right.
The guy was working nonstop.
Right. So, I mean, I will give it a slightly higher score for that. I'll give it a 3. It's a solid 3. I wouldn't score it much higher.
That's fair. I give it 3.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's the...
Go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Savini makes this movie. If it wasn't his effects work, I don't know how. But with him bowing out, we got Cara Fullerton doing Friday the 13th Part 2, so. But anyway, that's The Burning. Meanwhile, we watched a movie.
Did we? What do we watch?
Yeah.
What do we watch?
We watched Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, yeah, we did watch that.
Jesus.
Sorry, we've been watching a lot of movies lately.
And we watched the first 2 Harry Potter movies, but
We did.
we won't go into that.
We need to spend some time with our child.
So Late Night with the Devil is about a Johnny Carson rival in the 1970s. His ratings are going in the toilet, so he decides, I'm going to have a great Halloween show. I'm going to bring out a psychic and a girl possessed by Satan.
So, the reason his ratings were in the toilet is because his wife died. She had lung cancer, had never smoked, and he took some time off.
We're not being Carson anyway. So what'd you think of that one?
It was okay. I liked it up until the end.
Yeah,
It was a little confusing, because I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, the backstory with him and some of the things going on, I was just...
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this doesn't explain anything.
I think it would have been better just to drop that. I don't know, why couldn't you have just made it where he was... I don't know, it was just more confusing.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they tried to have another plot point there that they didn't really...
Yeah,
expand on.
I love the premise. I love the way it looked. Some of the effects were, but
Yeah.
Except the ending.
I don't know. They could have gone in a completely different direction with this instead of the confusing ending that it had.
I heard somebody say, why didn't you just make it where he was having an affair while she was dying and left it at that instead of this whole weird sidebar thing that...
making a deal with the devil. That's what I kind of implied.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I'm so confused by the ending, but the rest of the movie, I had a good time.
Yeah, it was confusing. But...
I give it a 3.
Oh yeah, all day long I'd give it a 3.
Yeah,
most definitely.
I don't think we watched anything else, so I guess it's now nut cutting time.
You ready for this, pal? It's
I don't
under
know.
2 hours.
So's a colonoscopy.
No, your colonoscopy took longer than 2 hours.
I don't remember. I was drugged.
You are drugged. All right, 1996.
Oh, Jesus.
Rated R.
96 rated R. God. I don't know. I wasn't seeing many movies in 96.
Jake Busey.
Jake Busey? That doesn't narrow it down. He was like in everything from 96 to 05.
R. Lee Ermey.
7? R. Lee Ermey?
John Aston.
John Aston?
Melanie Linsky.
Who?
You'd know her if you saw her.
I am.
All right, the last one will give it away.
I think I know what it is.
What is it?
Is it The Frighteners?
It is The
Okay.
Frighteners. Yeah, I'm Michael J. Fox. I would say to him for the last because you'd know exactly who it was.
I'd say Doc
What it was.
Hollywood.
Yeah. You see Doc Hollywood, right?
Yeah, it's over there.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You know, I've almost bought this movie like 10 times.
Well, we don't have it, but we're
No.
going to go borrow it from my mom. So,
All right. So The Frighteners. That's Peter Jackson, isn't it?
I believe so.
So that's why you brought up Lord of the Rings.
Nope.
Oh,
I brought up Lord of the Rings because you hadn't seen it before.
it just popped in there.
And I thought, well, what other movies has he not seen?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I bet Mom and Dad have The Frighteners because she loves that movie.
All right, The
And
Frighteners.
she does, so we'll get it this weekend when you go over and help install her furnace. Fun.
Is the movie frightening?
Yeah, it's rated R.
I didn't know John Astin was in it.
Neither did I.
You just sold me.
I don't like it. It's a good movie.
All right.
It's $1.50. Anywho, it's got a 7.1 on IMDb.
I heard it's good. I just never
Yeah.
saw it.
It is a good one. All right, with that being said, we are fucked. I don't know. With that being said, we are off. No, who says that? Somebody said that. Who says that?
You say that. Just say a whole line.
With that being said, we are off.
We're off like a prom dress.
All right. This is Wait Until You See This. I'm Krista.
And I am Chris.
And the next time we'll be talking about The Frighteners. So we'll see you later. Bye.
Aloha.